Hello everyone, once again. I'm here with my good friend Tim Ryan from Niles, Ohio.
Hi, Kendrick.
Hi, Tim. This is the room that the President will be in prior to coming into the State of the Union.
Well, as we ended 2007, I think, on a very high note with some great accomplishments, and we're moving into 2008 now. We've got a long list of things that we want to accomplish. We've had a great year. We didn't get to develop fully all of our policies because of presidential vetoes and quite frankly, not enough Democrats in the United States Senate to get the 60 votes, Rule 22, that we need. All you have to do is look at what we have said prior to getting in the office, prior to taking over the House of Representatives, and what we've done. We said we were going to implement the 9/11 Commission recommendations. We did that. We said we were going to increase the minimum wage. We did that. We said we were going to invest in education. Did it. Biggest investments since the GI Bill. You know, we said we were going to take care of our veterans, largest increase in funding in the history of the VA for our vets. These are significant promises that the Democrats have made, and we kept them. And all we're asking is for the President to step up to bat and, you know, make these same, our alternative energy plan, significant investments into alternative energy to convert this economy over and give people in Ohio losing manufacturing jobs an opportunity to maybe get a job making a windmill, you know, at some point. These are the kind of investments we're trying to make, really take the country in another direction.
Well, you know, just recently we voted to override in majority in a bipartisan vote the President's veto the second time of the state children's health care program. And I think that, I call S-CHIP, and it would have taken some of the responsibility off of the financial burden that so many American families are having to carry because their kids are not insured. You know, Tim, some of the things that you were talking about, things that we've already done. To have all of the hearings, we've had more hearings in this Congress, and we just completed the first session in previous Congresses. And we've had more roll call votes than any other Congress in the history of the Republic. In the first session, the 110th Congress, we went to work on behalf of the American people. We have, you know, meetings in the Armed Services Committee, more than we've had in previous Congresses. With this war going on, the Congress has a better understanding. The American people have a better understanding. It pushed the administration to go through some reforms. Donald Rumsfeld is no longer with us as it relates to Secretary of Defense. We've had some other people. The Secretary of the Department of Justice has had to move on because of questionable issues there. So once we start having oversight in these hearings, the American people are heard because we're all elected from different districts.
How are you going to fix a problem if you don't know what the problem is? And that had been the problem from the beginning, is that, you know, things aren't going right in Iraq. Well, how do you fix them? Well, you figure out what the problem is. You have hearings, you bring people before you, and you ask the tough questions.
There you go.
It was a rubber stamp Congress, and you, for the longest time, had the rubber stamp. But in Iraq, for example, we were not able to figure out what the problems were.
And we passed the toughest ethics bill in the history of the Congress. It's more transparent. The American people can find out exactly what a member has requested as it relates to member projects that to assist their districts. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with people seeing what projects I'm requesting for my district and on behalf of the overall military or what have you. But I think it's also important, Mr. Ryan, for democracy to be what we want it to be. For us to have an open process, have the oversight that the American people deserve, and it's something that we haven't seen in previous Congresses.
If you look over all of the president's plans over the past 7 years, you know, when he campaigned on as far as keeping gas prices down, now we have the average price for a gallon of gas at $3.07. So that's the squeeze we're talking about. There's been no long-term planning. The war in Iraq has not helped the oil situation, and so we're hoping that the President, as he's making this address tonight, really recognizes and understands that the American people are being squeezed from every which way. Healthcare costs going up, energy costs going up. You know, these are the tuition costs going up. These are significant issues for the American people. No, this is not time for the traditional political shenanigans.
Over the last 10 days, Speaker Nancy Pelosi and also Majority Leader over in the Senate, Harry Reid, have been meeting with the President on this bipartisan proposal. We have a very good spirit right now going on in the country with leaders that are actually talking to one another.
Looking forward to a great year and hope that the President's rhetoric about being bipartisan comes to reality.